Oh my god. For the second time in the last 10 minutes, welcome to another episode of the Stack Bitcoin Show. Oh my god, I did 10 minutes worth of show, guys. I did 10 minutes worth of show. I didn't hit live. all right, I turned off the live thinking I was gonna hit go live, and I forgot there was a timer running. Oh my god. That's so dumb. Oh my gosh. Anyway, welcome back to another episode of the Stack Bitcoin Show. We're here. We're starting over. All right, but before we jump into the main portion of the show, let's go over something that's recently come up. The IRS is trying to pull a fast one. They changed some rules on us. If you're in the United States, you want to listen up. We have a group. We have a new set of reporting that we need to abide by in 2025. But in order for your taxes not to get back audited for any kind of Bitcoin or crypto holdings you've had, you need to do this form. Okay, and I don't have all the details. I can't explain it well as other people have already explained it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this video. I put the video in the chat already. I put the video in the description of this video already, and I also put that video in the in our Discord server. Okay, the video that it got put out by a guy named by a channel called The Crypto Dad. I'll put him on the screen real quick. There he is, The Crypto Dad, and that's his channel. And he takes a lot of data that he uses for his show or for this episode from this website called Crypto Tax Girl. It's a woman who does taxes, and she specializes in crypto, right? So she put together the form and all that stuff, and it's a pretty good deal. So go watch that video if you're in the United States and you are holding Bitcoin or any kind of other crypto. That way you are covered for going forward. Okay, this is the way you're able to claim safe harbor on any back taxes, on any 2024 and earlier and later taxes that you've done. Okay, so you don't get re-audited on the way that it was sold or whatever. Anyway, watch that video, this guy's video, The Crypto Dad. It's called The New Crypto Tax Rules Explained, what you need to know before January 1st, and take care of this today or tomorrow. That's the latest, right? So anyway, that's my PSA for today. And now let's get into the regular channel, I guess, regular episode. All right, man, I did this already and I forgot to hit live. So dumb. So dumb. Anyway, let's go. Let's jump into the first segment of Bitcoin Strength. Today, the price of Bitcoin is $62,450.74. You can buy 1,081 Satoshis for a single dollar. Round of applause from the live studio answer. Carlos Jaramillo, DCA to BTC. Who knows how long you'll be able to buy 1,000 Satoshis for a single dollar. But let's get it while we can. Okay. Dips are gifts. Stackopaths in the house. What up, McLovin? Good to see you, dude. I was 10 minutes into the show wondering why there was no comments, no feedback. And I was like, man, what's going on? And I realized that, I don't know, I thought I was streaming earlier, but I guess I wasn't. And I was just not streaming. And I was 10 minutes in. I was already doing the Why We Stack segment. Jeez, man. So crazy, right? So crazy. All right, but we're here. And that is how much Bitcoin is worth right now. And let's get into this other section. If you're walking down the street minding your own business, you look down, you see a penny, you pick it up, and all the day that penny could be worth. Let's just refresh on here. 10.82 Satoshis or 10 Satoshis. 10 Satoshis for a single penny. What a deal. Recently we were down below 10 Satoshis for a penny. And soon enough we'll be down to 5 Satoshis for a penny. And you guys are gonna go crazy. Okay? Anyway, that is the SAT strength. And now we return you to the regularly scheduled program. Sheesh. I'm so rusty, dude. Rusty guy. So rusty. Still mix it up though. Still mixing up the DJ stuff over here. What was I? We'll do that one. Background song. But yeah, it's been wild. I did a little bit of tweaking of the backdrop a little bit. I changed the orientation of the cast, of the Bitcoin cast, of the Study Bitcoin cast. I put my Jiu-Jitsu white belt up here with my 4 stripes. This is my belt that I had before I got my blue belt. It's the most important belt. That's the belt when you decide if you're going to stick to it or quit. And I stuck to it, guys. I stuck to it. I kept stacking classes, like I kept stacking stripes, right? That's 16 months. 16 months with the classes right there. Bam! Not terribly fast, but also not very. I didn't get my blue belt super fast, but also I didn't get it super long. You know, it didn't take me super long time. Shout out, round of applause from the live studio audience for the live studio band. Always coming through, showing up, never late. It's wild, right? Okay, so let's get into the next topic, guys. Let's get into the next section of the show that we like to call Why We Stack. All right, if you're new to the show, what do we stack? We stack Bitcoin. We save in Bitcoin. That's what we mean when we say why we stack. The Stack Bitcoin show. It just means that you're stacking your hard-earned value, your labor, the economic energy that you earn from your labor or from your business into Bitcoin, so that the powers that be cannot take your value that you worked so hard for via a process called inflation. When they grow the money supply, whatever value is held in that money supply gets debased. You need some of that value that your money's holding to give power to the new money, so your money gets a little bit it gets weaker, right? Walking around with weak money that's getting weaker. Okay, well, when you save in Bitcoin, the opposite happens, right? Since Bitcoin is a fixed supply, whatever value you put into Bitcoin either holds its value against the fiat or actually gains power against the fiat, because the fiat continues to debase. So you have two forces right there. One force is inflation debasing the money and making your Bitcoin worth more because you need to pay more of the weaker dollars to buy the same stuff. And you have the other force, or one of the other forces, and that is the demand for Bitcoin going up, because people are starting to understand that Bitcoin shields you from that inflation, and so people need it, right? Everybody in the world needs Bitcoin and they don't realize it yet. But the more and more people realize that, the more and more people find their laser eyes, then the more and more demand will come to Bitcoin. And what happens when demand goes up? Well, the supply must increase to balance it out. But since the supply cannot increase, the only thing that can go up is the price. In that equation, the only thing that's not fixed is the price. So, since the supply is fixed and it can't be increased, the only thing that can change is the price as the demand goes up or down. That's why Bitcoin is volatile, right? But it's good. More and more people are starting to figure it out. And not only that, not just people, companies and countries and businesses are starting to figure out that if you're not holding Bitcoin, you're going to lose. Simple as that. So, why do we save in Bitcoin? To keep it simple, to make it relatable for the average person. If I met you in an elevator and you asked me, you got between floor 1 and 2 to tell me why I should start saving in Bitcoin, what's a big deal? I'll tell you just this. Saving in Bitcoin is like traveling back in time and giving yourself a perpetually increasing retroactive raise for the hours you've already worked for, as long as you hold a Bitcoin that represents those hours. Just like that. And that took less time than it would take an elevator to go from floor 1 to floor 2. Dropped the orange pill right there, the savings orange pill, okay? Because there's other benefits to Bitcoin that we can go over on a different episode, but there's a lot of other benefits. Here, we focus on the saving in Bitcoin aspect of it, but there's a lot of virtues of Bitcoin, including like sovereignty, privacy, and just like being able to really own something that nobody can take away from you. And anyway, there's a whole whole list of things that make Bitcoin awesome, but I focus on the savings aspect of it, on the savings aspect of it, and on the custody aspect of it. There's no third party risk. If you buy Bitcoin, move it to your own wallet that you have the keys for, and you hold it yourself, then you don't have to worry about anybody stealing it from you, or putting a fee on it, or locking it up for you, that kind of stuff. What up, Jado in the house? Also, I see BTC Cowboy. What up? Good to see you guys in here. Perfect. Yeah, Jado. But after we talked, I looked it up a little bit more, and I found this video. It's really good. So I'm gonna take care of that today as well. It's a lot of stuff. Yeah. Exactly. Very cool. Yeah. So guys, we talked about it at the beginning of the video. PSA. Let's take care of that. Safe harbor, new safe harbor regulations on your Bitcoin, on your Bitcoin and crypto. Yeah. Pretty cool. Very cool. Sweet. So that is why we stack. That is a segment right there. That's a wrap on that segment. Let's put on a little bit of music in the background. Okay. Giving your future self a kick-ass pay raise is exactly how I look at saving in my dude. Exactly right. That's incredible. That's incredible. You know how sometimes, like, let's say you have a job that you're not really happy with, or that you're just kind of like, man, I hate this job, right? And you're like, damn, I can't believe I'm doing this job for like X amount of dollars an hour, right? Whatever. Let's just say an imaginary. Just imagine that you're getting $5 an hour for this job that you don't even like to do, right? And I know $5 an hour is like, nobody's paying $5 an hour. They're usually paying more. So it's just a made up story. But how much easier would it be to tolerate a job that you're not really that happy with, that's paying you $5 an hour, if you knew that same job is in the future, as long as you're saving, it's gonna be paying you like $20 an hour or $30 an hour for that same hour you already worked. Makes it a little bit more tolerable, right? Gives you a little bit more hope. But anyway, you should get a better job than $5 an hour. There's probably other better things you could do with your time that will pay you more. Okay. So, very good, very good. Alrighty, so let's keep it rolling. I have recovered my Strike account again. I'm back in good standings with Strike. I have unfortunately been stacking to the limit, and had my account locked for a little bit, but I'm back, baby. So today we're gonna be buying on Strike. Let's go over the stack recap, guys. Stack recap, because we don't only talk about stacking Bitcoin here Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern. We actually do it. And in 2024, so far, we've purchased $7,205 worth of Bitcoin for a total of 12.09 million Satoshis, or 0.12 Bitcoin, with the value today of $11,134. If I was to go and try to buy 0.12 Bitcoin today, I would have to pay 54% more of today's weaker dollar for the same amount of Bitcoin. That is telling you that this year, inflation of the dollar versus Bitcoin has been 54%. Right? If you're holding dollars, you lost 54% of your value. If you're holding Bitcoin, you gain 54% of your value. Okay? And why is that important? Shoot, I gotta go back to full screen, guys. Why is that important? Because what is time? What is money but time? What is the value of your savings but your time? Right? If you work 40 hours a week to make X amount of money, right? Yeah, let's say you worked and made $1,000, and you saved those $1,000. Let's say it takes you a week to make $1,000. I know these are low numbers. Let's say it took you a week to make $1,000. After taxes, like the money you actually get to spend, right? Like no strings attached money. You already paid your taxes. You paid it for everything, and you gained $1,000. Okay, it took you a week to do that, or a month, or whatever. And then you take that, and you put it into Bitcoin, and you have in a year or so, you've doubled, right? Or even 50%, like we did in 1 year. So what does that mean? It means that you don't have to work an additional, like you could take half a week off, Well, you don't have to take a week, half a week off, but you know what I'm saying. Like you basically, the 1 week that you worked is now worth was it like a week is now worth like about 3 or 4 days worth of work, or is now going to cost you 3 or 4 days worth of work, where before it cost you 5 days of work. Actually, it's 50%, so it should be more. Instead of you having to work 5 days to make $1,000 free and clear, you're working 2.5 days to make $1,000, right? And then what does that mean? Well, it means that now your freedom date is closer because you saved the Bitcoin, right? You didn't have to do the extra work to make another extra $1,000 or to make an extra $500, since it went up 50%. To make an extra $500, all you had to do was just hold the Bitcoin. You held the you worked for a week, you put it aside, you held the Bitcoin, and it was as if you had worked an additional 3 days or 2.5 days, right? It's like if you went back in time and made that one 5-day work week into a 7.5-day work week, worked those hours and just saved it, right? It's pretty incredible, right? That's another way to look at it. Or you can just say that your pay increased, right? Or you turned 1 week into 2 weeks, right? When your gain's at 100%, the $1,000 you set aside, now it's worth $2,000. So it's as if you got paid double, or as if you worked 2 weeks in 1 week. Huh? That's freaking awesome. The best employee I have. The best employee. You can do 2 weeks worth of work in 1 week. In the past, it's freaking wild. It's so wild. Anyway, that's why it's so important to understand this concept. You can look at it either way. You can look at it either way. You can look at it from the Bitcoin perspective, which is what I recommend, or you can look at it from the dollar perspective, which is kind of the bad way to think about it. But if you're saving in dollars is like going back in time and giving yourself a perpetually increasing pay cut for as long as you hold that money that represents the hours you've already worked, right? Because of inflation, right? Your savings are getting taken from you little by little. So it's pretty wild. All right, let's get back to the chart. Or not the chart, to the browser. There it is. Okay, so that's our stack currently. For those of you that haven't been on the show for a while, like maybe J-Dub and BTC Cowboy, we updated our spreadsheet for the cumulative sheet. Made it a little bit easier to understand. We have our reclaimed BTC, which is the Bitcoin that we've accumulated by selling things around the house. Okay, so these things include an old sewing machine, Pelican case, some Muay Thai fighting shorts, 4 of them, a Fairtex, some boxing gloves, some KitchenAid, a GPU, I lost money on the GPU, but it's okay, I still have the Bitcoin. Okay, so overall, on the things we've sold, we're about 43% gains, and that's reflected here. 0.13 Bitcoin, 0.13, yep, right there. And we also have our donations that people have made. So shout out to the donos, and those are here. There they are, some donations made to the show. Look at those donations, dang! That 21,100 Satoshis that was donated. I forget what date it was, but back in the day, when Bitcoin was at 65,500, 58,000, 58K gang. Look at that. So those have gone up a little bit, and it's a little bit, but we're counting all of these sats into our main sheet. So there's that. We have the 100 days of savings. We might start this challenge again next year. I'm not sure, but 100 days of saving in Bitcoin. That is, where's that one? I think it's right here. Yeah. 100 days of saving in Bitcoin. We started saving back in the 70s, 60s, 69, 71. And that stack has grown about 41%. And here's that Bitcoin there, 0.07584, which at that time we paid $5,100 because on some of the buys I double bought numbers, or I bought more than I should have accidentally. Anyway, that Bitcoin is now worth about $7,000. Right? And feel free to take any of these ideas to kind of boost yourself and give yourself some motivation, some additional motivation to stack in Bitcoin. Give yourself kind of like a little a challenge, like have a little more fun with it. There it is. And then also having a little more fun with this Honda Grom. It's a little motorcycle that I have. I bought it so I can commute to jiu-jitsu, and I've been tracking my mileage. I haven't used it in a while. I haven't been going to jiu-jitsu in the past couple of weeks because I've been busy with family and holidays and all that stuff. You know how it is. But that's also accounted for here. So far, we've put about 1,373 miles on the Grom. We need to hit 27,143 miles in order for the Grom to pay for itself. How's the Grom going to pay for itself? Well, for every mile I put on the Grom, for every mile I ride on the Grom, instead of driving my truck, it's a V8, or it's an 8-cylinder truck, I save about 21 cents per mile. So for every mile, I'm buying 21 cents worth of Bitcoin. So here I rode 66 miles. When Bitcoin was at 59,000, I bought $13.73 worth of Bitcoin, and I bought about 23,206 satoshis. It's now worth $21.49. So there's gains there. Taking that into account, since I'm saving the savings in Bitcoin, my break-even mileage has actually come sooner, right? I am 466 miles ahead of schedule because the value of the Bitcoin that's representing the savings of those mileage is in Bitcoin. Okay, so currently I'm at a 33.92% gain, and it's not a lot, right? Well, actually, it is a lot. What? No way. That's crazy. See that right there? To go from $288 to $385 just by saving the savings that I'm getting because I'm riding the Grom instead of driving the truck. That's incredible. Anyway, it's just another fun way for me to get the idea of Bitcoin out there. I ride my Grom around, I talk about Bitcoin, and hopefully more people become interested in it and start to see how you can really change your life just by saving in Bitcoin, right? So those are all the numbers that go into making the final number for the whole show, which is 0.31882626, with a goal for the show of hitting 1 Bitcoin. That's the whole enchilada right there, boys. The show needs to hit 1 Bitcoin, either by, like, we're getting pretty close in viewership to be able to monetize this channel. When that happens, I'm going to definitely monetize it as soon as possible, and any gains we get from this channel, we're gonna put right into Bitcoin, and we're gonna mark them here on the chart, and we're gonna keep track of all of those buys as well. Okay, so any kind of ad revenue, any kind of donations for the show, we'll put my portion of that into Bitcoin, and hopefully that at that point the show will become its own little flywheel of creating value and creating it'll have its own little Bitcoin reserve, because it already has its Bitcoin reserve, right? The show has a Bitcoin reserve of 0.31882626 Bitcoin, which is pretty cool. Anyway, all right. The estimated value of today of the holdings of the show is about $29,541. It's insane. It sounds like so much money. It's wild. Anyway, so let's do the final thing that we're supposed to do here on the show, and that is to buy some Bitcoin. Okay, today, since the price of Bitcoin is above our average buy price for 2024, we're gonna buy $20 worth of Bitcoin. Okay, so next year we're starting over from zero. Well, we're starting to track 2025 by itself, and when that happens, we'll start from our first buy will be $20. And if Bitcoin drops below our first buy, then we'll buy $40, and then we'll start from there. Okay, so there it is. Now there's only one thing left to do. We know exactly how much Bitcoin we're going to buy today, so because like I said, there's only one thing left to do. It's time to stack some Bitcoin. All right, and we have the Strike app rocking over here. Strike's over here all, take my money, Strike. So I open up the Strike app, I hit buy, and then I key in $20. I double check that it's right. I hit next. It goes to confirm. I cut the music, hit the drum roll, please. And we confirm. Confirming that we're buying $20 worth of Bitcoin. There it is. And just like that, we've accumulated an additional, 21,372 Satoshis. That's more like it. That's more like it. Oh, I've been buying. Oh, you know what? I've been buying Bitcoin this whole week too. So that's not reflected in the stack yet. So I need to add that. I just been buying it every day. I just been buying the Monday through Friday. I bought Christmas Day. I bought everything. So I just haven't added it to the sheet. So we need to add that to the sheet. So I'll add that to the sheet and this last buy. And tomorrow we'll be back on track. Okay. Tomorrow is the 31st, the last day that you have if you're in the U.S. to claim safe harbor on your previous crypto tax forms or tax, right? So make sure you do that. Watch that video. I linked it in the chat. I linked it in the description of the video, and I also linked it in our Discord under the general discussion section. Okay, take care of that. And Carlos says, "You still have fiat left?" I do, Carlos, because I'm still employed, so I'm still generating revenue. So it's good, right? I'm still generating revenue, and now that this purchase is done, we're good. We're good. We're gonna continue to DCA, regardless of the price. The price goes up, the price goes down. We DCA every day. Okay. All right. Does anybody have any other questions? Hope you guys had a good a Merry Christmas, good holiday. When we do the DCA to New Year, that's right, DCA to New Year's Eve, we're gonna be doing. I'll be back here. I'm still gonna do the show. Yeah, I'm doing the show tomorrow, and then Wednesday. Damn, January 1st, 2025. Wednesday, January 1st, 2025, we're going to be doing the 2025 sheet starting from scratch. So if you want to start stacking with us, if you're not already stacking, we'll start from scratch. I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to try to do the 2025. Sorry. I'm going to try to do the 2025 stack tracker on TikTok as well. See if we get any more people in here, right? See if it starts growing. TikTok's pretty like it goes viral. It takes a lot less effort to not less effort. You're more likely to get pushed out to a bunch of viewers. Like for some reason, YouTube is like, man, it's a dog, right? It's a dog to grow the channel. Partially probably because my inconsistency this past couple of weeks, but we're back. We'll see how it goes. We're gonna keep trying to get to that 500 subscribers. So if you haven't already, subscribe, hit that little bell notification, all that good stuff, so that it triggers the algorithm to push the show out. You know, if you think the show is worth watching, if you think people will benefit from watching, ABW, what's up, Andrew? Round of applause from the live studio audience for Andrew. Yeah, I hope all is well. We had a great Christmas, Andrew. Hope you had a great Christmas as well. We're gonna be broadcasting the rest of the week and updating our spreadsheet for 2025, starting from scratch on that one, and looking forward to it. It's gonna be exciting. It brings a sense of variety to start a fresh sheet. All right, boys. All right, let's wrap this thing up. There it is. The tune that signals the end of the show. Do you think fiat is like bell-bottom pants? I'm gonna fade out of existence, maybe. More like 8-track tapes. Oh god. Yeah, dude. Fiat is like fiat, dude. They're gonna make another one. They're gonna make another version of it, and run it for like a couple hundred years, and the same thing will happen. Yeah. Just like I think that's what will end up happening. So I'm still gonna continue to save in Bitcoin and spend in whatever they want me to spend in, but my savings will always be in Bitcoin. All right, boys. Have a great rest of the day. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode of the Stack Bitcoin Show. But until then, remember, if you ain't stacking, you're slacking.